And we are back. And of course, all my camera's broken now. Good times. I know why. Hold on. Fixed. There we go. Welcome to another episode of Salisbury Anarchy. This is our 101st episode. We are back after break for the very first time. So, welcome back. This is the official kickoff of the end of Anarchy. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, let's do some quick introductions, and then we can go from there. Hey, Cat's Meow, thank you very much for the follow. Or
You're very welcome, Bob.
Subscription, yeah. You're supposed to pretend. I was leaving you with some autonomy for. Oh, that's I got Sir Florence up, and we've got Rhodri's long picture from the. That's funny. Yeah. Well, I'll fix that. All right, Thomas, why don't you go ahead and do your introduction here?
Hello, and welcome to Pendragon 101. We will be your teachers. I am Thomas, and I'll be playing Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, Marshal of Salisbury, and still alive. We'll see how long that lasts, having just secured his release from one of the Aethelings.
It's true. It's like which
actually, I think.
Which yeah. Well, yeah. It's Sled.
Sled,
Yep.
That's right.
In Sled now.
All right, and Mark.
Hello, I'm Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, and I will be your headmaster for Pendragon 202. I play Sir Florence of Idmiston, the lovely Baron of Axe, and definitely not traitor to Salisbury. I also do a whole bunch of other things on the side, like vampire games and stuff, which I will have more announcements with later. But that's all for me in my intro.
Excellent. And we'll go to Liam next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam with a new setup and shiz. Welcome. Hi. I'm playing Sir Virgil of Durnford, I'm sorry, newly acting Marshal of Durnford, Sir Virgil of Durnford. No, whatever. I fucked this up, Bob. Can we go again? Can we do this again?
Do it again.
Can we just get...
Yeah.
Just
Hold on,
read the
let's stop.
script.
We're just gonna stop.
Hold on.
Yeah, we're just gonna stop and come back. Enjoy the show, everybody.
That's kind of how my Friday went, actually. I was like, all right, we're gonna take a brief break, and that's when stuff went down. So I was like, never mind, I'm not coming back. Yeah.
Never mind. We're good.
Yeah. It's a Bilbo Vanishing Act. I'm Bob. We run Pendragon here Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and then we have some side stuff going on. We have Mondays and Sundays. We have Open Pendragon, and an occasional Thursday. We'll see what happens. I keep promising Jeremy that one day we'll get to his thing, but his character is going to be like 150 by the time I actually follow through with that. So maybe it's time to do that. We are still in the year 505, but we'll be getting out of it this episode. More announcements. We will be seeing Liam's primary character from the previous campaign on Tuesday. So keep an eye out. I'm going to be running a back-to-back doubleheader. Should be nice and tiring. Based on how things go. So let's talk about real briefly, just going left to right here, starting with Thomas. What do you remember about Sir Edrich and where you left off last time?
Last I left off, he had been captured in battle, having tried to strike at the king and all his men, having barely survived thanks to a lucky advantage, and instead been horribly injured and knocked unconscious, dragged back to the holdings of King Sled. He was there for a little while before being released with an unorthodox request that he be the one to knight Sled, because Sled believed that knights were well respected and suited to rule, which Edrich was all too happy to not get in a debate about. He took that and Salisbury did not pay through the nose to get him back, so he should be on his way, hopefully. But we did just come out of the biggest mixed unit fight we've had in quite some time, alongside
very long
Nanteleod
time.
and Alpheus. Yeah,
Since the days of Uther.
indeed.
That fuckhead.
That was a long pitch battle, indeed. Anything you want to go over, Mark, with Sir Florence and where you left off with him?
So Florence was involved in said battles, having to take up a leadership role near the end of each of them. I actually think, as things started to turn against us a few times, but managed to make it out mostly alive, leading to him returning back to Salisbury and then having to return back to Cornwall, in which he has been ordered by the king to take up a position as the Lord Commander of, I want to say,
Wells, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So now he's performing the job as the Lord Commander of Wales. Wells, not Wales.
You're not Wales. Yeah, definitely not Wales.
Not Wales.
Well, yeah. Much
yes.
different size of.
Absolutely.
One would put you in charge of a country, and the other one a tiny town in Summerland. So, yeah.
Exactly.
All right, and Liam.
Virgil survived the battle and did not get captured. And when it was put to a vote of who would be acting marshal while Edrich was AFK, it came down to either him or Erwin. And Erwin owed him big favor, and Robert admires Virgil quite a bit. So when it came down to it, it was Virgil on the acting marshal seat. And that was pretty much it. He had a lot of good glory in the battle himself. I think he got some really important pushes, but I don't think he did anything that was so notable that it needs to be remarked upon now.
Hey,
Shield Walrus.
Shield Walrus, welcome in. One sec. Okay, so indeed, I think we can pick up with some minor vignettes there, and then we shall go right into the Winter Feast, close out this year. We'll start with. You know what? We'll probably go right to left this time. So we're going to start with Virgil. Anything key you want to address? Actually, I'm going to be fair to you. How many times did you go unconscious? I'm going to do what I did with the other group here.
That's a good question. If I look at my handy dandy character sheet here, I believe I marked somewhere on there how many wounds I took. Now, are we talking about in the gauntlet of battles or just during that one battle?
The gauntlet of battles, yeah.
Twice, then.
Twice? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you fought 3 battles. I want you to make an energetic roll 3 times with a -3 in energetic.
Okay. All right. The first one's a fail. So we're off to a good start here.
No.
All you can do is fumble at this point because it's kind of like triple disadvantage. But we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
No fumbles.
Okay. What this represents is you're going to be spending time resting and recovering. You're exhausted. You're beaten. You need some time. Leading up till the Winter Feast, indeed. But we'll see if anything happens. You roll a d10. Maybe something comes to you while you're resting.
Oh, that was one more thing to mention. I'm more in love with my mistress.
Yes.
Because she took care of me while I was injured.
Right. Yeah,
That's a 9.
A 9. No, it's probably the most. Well, no, you've had a lot of downtime during Anarchy, but it probably is the most deserved downtime you feel. When you do something like pretty significant, It's probably the first time where thinking about Wessex having to return to lick its wounds, the Saxons being beaten off. Ooh, that's a bad use of terms.
We're rolling with it.
With a stick.
Hey, I'm gonna ride sled into battle, and also I'm gonna beat them off. That's what we're gonna do.
I'll never forget staying at my buddy's house growing up. We were eating dinner. It was a big family dinner, and his family could be pretty formal, especially his dad. And they're all sitting there eating, and he's like, "I want a nice dinner. I don't want any of this, mouthing off crap." So everyone's sitting there quietly, and someone mentioned to his sister, it was like, "Oh, I hear are lots of boys chasing you now?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have to beat him off with a stick." And everyone's just quiet. And then the oldest brother's like, "They use sticks for that now?" And the dad being a pretty formal, reserved guy, not a very good scenario for the older brother, but hilarious for the rest of us. Anyways, so every time I hear that phrase, I'm like, oh, that's what it reminds me of.
Gotta get a stick.
Yeah. Okay. So we will get back to you then, Virgil. But yeah, if it's peaceful. I'm not going to give you a tick on lazy because there's no fumble or anything like that. But maybe. What might a sense of peace bring to you in your virtues? Anything?
That's a good question. I think maybe proud, weirdly. It's been Virgil has always been the second brother, He's been part of a set of quadruplets, and he's always considered himself to be an agent of Edric's destiny rather than his own. But here, right now, I think he's assuming that Edric's more or less dead, if not, he's gone right now. And he's been granted with this role of marshal for the time being. And I think for maybe the first time in his life, it feels like this is his,
Mm-hmm.
I think that moment of calm to reflect on that position I think it might exacerbate those feelings a little bit.
It makes sense. Yeah, give yourself a tick in proud then.
Bada bing.
All right. We will go over to Mark and do the same thing. How many KOs you got this time?
I don't think I had any.
I think you stayed up the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think Florence went down once, because he was up during the original battle. He wasn't involved in the second battle. And in the third battle, he stayed up.
Okay. So you're going to have a single energetic test, but it's still -3 because there's a number of battles you fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be right. Holy, I have my character sheet open. That would have been smart. -3.
Okay.
Ooh, failure.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
It would have been
feeling
a crit.
it. Yeah. You're feeling it. That's a perfect actually kind of example. Normally this would be normal for you, but you're starting to feel old. This year especially, you're feeling old. The idea of campaigning that was beyond the normal amount of campaigning, by the way. In order for people to push on for that last battle, Nanteleod did a big speech. Normally even vassal knights would be like, this is beyond our marching period. It's moving into fall.
Well, a couple of them left, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, we had to take volunteers, and those who didn't volunteer went home because we couldn't ask them to do more.
Yeah. They get outside their union contract. But for Florence, that doesn't mean that you don't fulfill your duties, because duty is something that you can't avoid. Towards the end of the year. Roll me a d10 real quick.
All right. 7.
Yeah, so nothing wild. You can give me. I will give you a battle test and an intrigue test.
All right. Battle test. Full success. Intrigue. Success.
Okay. You hear a bunch of news while you're in Wells. Specifically, there seems to be regular like raids out on the supply lines. You remember you're having to work quite closely with not only your other Cornish allies but also Syagrius's men. Syagrius and a portion of his men are apparently in Summerland, but it's not clear where or what they're up to. Mark is said to have been up north in Bath, like sieging Bath. And Meliodas was sieging the west.
All right.
You also hear rumor of some of the foes that are like wanted in the area or like key targets, right? That your men were not successful against. One is the Black Dog. Yeah.
Good.
In addition, you hear news that Sir Brassius and his mercenaries have been fending off in the north against the Cornishmen. Sir Cador was taken prisoner by Meliodas.
Do I know where he's currently being held?
Yes, because you are about to do a very brief scene with Meliodas.
Oh.
And he has Cador with him. Meliodas is the king of Lyoness and the petty king of Lyoness and the one of the war champions of Idris. So he returns with his force from the west, and that's kind of the scene we pick up at that point.
And then Florence would be there to greet them as they ride up to the either the outside of the city or the castle inside. And he'd kind of, with the smile on his face, go, Meliodas! I'm glad to see you are doing well! And you come here with victory at your heels.
He smiles. Indeed. The forces to the west have been dealt with for the most part. There is a small resistant group just south of Bristol. The king has ordered me back nonetheless.
Well, I, for one, am glad to have you return to us.
I've heard news from Bristol. The capital has fallen to King Mark. Or to Prince Mark, he says.
Yeah. Prince Mark. I was about to... Wait a minute.
Yeah. Surprise! What? Yeah.
I think he goes, well, that is fantastic news. I take it then it seems to be a peerless victory.
I would say so. I have orders to relieve you here. You have new orders. And with that, he reaches into his satchel and pulls out a scroll with binding on it. Or it's both bound and sealed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a heraldry test, because you have that.
Bing. Heraldry is his jam. 14. Success.
It's orders from Prince Mark. You can tell by the heraldry.
Interesting. All right. He'd take it and break the seal and unwrap it and try to read through it with his two and read Latin.
Yeah, you have two. Well, you always. Hey, look at that! I was like, you always test for a reason. So yeah, go up to 3. We don't normally do that with skills, but we do for skills under 5.
Yeah.
So.
No, it just clicks for him in this moment.
Yeah. All right, so, yeah, you're getting more used to reading orders. You are being ordered back to Sarum for the winter. Prince Mark states that his father, Idris, wishes to have advanced understanding if Salisbury chooses to participate in any wars against Cornwall.
He looks through that and he goes, well then, seems I have my orders. It's good to see you again, Meliodas. Perhaps we may be able to, well, have a feast to your victory. And to the princes, of course.
He nods. One last thing, Sir Florence.
Yes?
Sir Couture here says he's fought alongside you previously. His ransom is my own, and he's unable to pay it.
I see. May I ask, what is the ransom of which you are requesting?
Normally I would say 100 librum, but Sir Couture is an honorable man. If he swears not to fight in the wars that follow here in Somerset or against Cornwall over the course of, let's say, the next 3 years, and he gives his word in doing so, then I will release him to you for 10 librum.
Florence kind of nods at that for a moment and he goes, I will see if Couture will agree to such a thing. If not, I will pay the full ransom as you have requested.
He nods. So yeah, you get a chance to talk to Couture. He looks at you when you come in. He kind of hangs his head. We are outnumbered 5-1.
I think with that, as he looks up, he notices Florence is there carrying a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. Or 2 cups. And he offers one to him.
I think last time you guys fought together because Florence was in Gentian, right? When you guys hired him?
I think the last time we saw each other was when we went up north with the Queen.
Well, I think you might have seen him in Gentian when you guys sieged Gentian in Marlborough.
Marlborough? Don't quite remember.
Yeah.
That might be the case. I think we did.
Either or, it'd be funny. Like Florence might not recognize that, anyways. But you remember the Queen stuff. Nonetheless, he looks at you a little bit reserved, but nods. He trusts you enough, even if you're not. You definitely chose different ways to support Gorlo's memory, so he's a little reluctant, but he does recognize you as a supporter of the Queen, so he'll nod and take a sip of the wine, showing his trust.
As he does. Florence does the same and says, well, to a certain point it can't be helped. When you're up against a force such as what you have been, I must say, it's truly a miracle you've survived that long. And I mean that as no slight against you, nor your ability to wage war. Simply the way of... No, the forces of Idris are many. And they grow by the day. Each bit of conquest, with each bit of land pulled into his grasp. He commands more men, more levies, and more knights. And then he says under his breath, we shall see how long that lasts.
You're cutting out a slight bit, Mark, just to let you know.
Oh.
Yeah, on your, like, it seems like on your final words it's cutting out, but I got the gist of what you're saying, just letting you know.
Alright.
So at that point, he nods, and then he sighs, and he's sort of processing everything you're saying, and then he says, and what of Nanteleod and the Saxons to the east? I hear there was campaigning that way.
Indeed, it was quite a show. We struck down the king of one of those invading brutes. I forget which one. We did manage to free up quite a bit of land. Unfortunately, Londinium still is within the grasp of the enemy, but who knows how long we have till we have pushed them from the shores.
What forces allied together? He sounds curious. He means your side, by the way. Just to save time on that.
Yeah. Well, I think almost the entirety of... is it Wales? What's the name of it? Would you be able to move us to the map, actually?
Yeah. Where are you guys at? I thought you were on the map. Oh, weird.
Yeah, we're on the winter phase page.
Oh, right, because of aging injury rolls, I believe, is why we're there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is the entirety of Escavalon, and all of which who swear fealty to their king, including the forces of Salisbury, Silchester, and, in fact, I believe even some of the Saxons marched against their own. Or at least without of it.
Any word from Lindsay?
Where's Lindsay again?
To the north.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, the border of Malahop.
From what I remember, Lindsay was marching alongside King of the Scavalon.
It seems then that is where victory is likely to be found, to me, not in Cornwall.
You're probably right. But we will see how long that lasts. There are also some other issues that must be addressed. I don't know if you've heard the rumors of a winter prince.
I have. A lady in white told me such.
Well, if it is who we think it is, could provide its own complications going forward. But also a chance.
I imagine you're here for more than just catching up, Sir Florence. He says, politely but a little sternly.
Quite. You see, I am here to make a request of you from Meliodas, in exchange for my paying of your, I've forgotten the word.
Ransom?
I should say bounty, but that's not the right word. Ransom. Paying of your ransom, a request that you no longer fight against Cornwall.
He looks annoyed at that and he says, And that's not going to happen. Does he mean forever?
I'm not quite sure what he means. I think he just means for the coming time. I think he simply doesn't want to face you on the battlefield once. He says you're an honourable man. I do not think he wants to see honourable men die.
And if I refuse?
Then I simply pay the full ransom. Truth, I don't really mind. I plan to pay it either way.
I suppose with no means of paying my own ransom, I'm indebted to you. And as such, I will not take from you more than what I am worth. My men are few, and I am getting old. He's like a little your senior, but it sort of like hits hard when he says I'm getting old with how you're feeling. He says, should you pay my ransom, I will agree that in the coming time, I will not take contracts directly against Cornwall. In fact, you may tell Meliodas that I plan to ride north to the Queen. Or sorry, no, he didn't say to the Queen. He says, I plan to ride north to the Duke's daughters.
Very well. I think he will find such things acceptable.
All right. Why don't we wrap that there? It was a little bit longer, but I felt like there were a few things we need to address there. We go to Thomas. We're going to do the same thing with you, Thomas. How many times did you get KO'd?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, so you're doing
One's
minus...
all he needs, baby.
You're doing your -3 to your energetic, and you're rolling twice.
Absolutely.
All right.
Twice, did you say?
Yep. So the worst of that is 2, so you're all good.
Edrich is a psycho, and it's very bad to be under his command because he expects exactly what he can do from everyone else.
Yeah, and you don't get in until like late fall. So you come in, actually roll a d10. Let's see if anything happens to you along the way.
If I get captured, 5.
Okay, 5. I need a 2d100 there, Thomas.
Oh no! 27 and 29.
It won't be. It won't be. I'm hoping.
Please tell me it won't be.
Captured by enemy.
God damn it! I start clawing my way out of the hedge of the Fae.
Right. I'm just thinking this through. You're coming back from the east, you're heading through Silchester, probably to Salisbury?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I have said person on the screen. If not, I may need to do a real quick thing.
But yeah, Edrich spent enough time off his feet when he was convalescing from bad injuries. He's fine now, ready to go, raring to go, beelining to Salisbury.
Indeed. Okay. Roll me 2d100 one more time. I need a little bit more inspiration for this one.
Absolutely. 94 and 1. So we're running the gamut.
Okay. You pass a contingent of knights as you're passing through Barrack. They seem to be in escort of someone who's garbed in robes. It seems kind of suspicious the way the person's like garbed in robes and they're all kind of surrounding said person.
How many knights?
That's a good question.
Enough, Thomas. There's enough knights. We'll leave it at that.
It's going to be more than one. We'll say two. Or two knights.
Edrich will say, "Hail and well met."
Hail, they both say.
Curious times to be escorting, particularly in the wake of such wild combat. Who do you serve?
1 sec. One of the knights, the bigger guy, sort of spits on the ground and says, "What business is it of yours?"
Though I may not command over these lands, I am Marshal of Salisbury, and I will have your respect, or I will have satisfaction.
Very well. The other one speaks up. He says, "We serve the Duke's son, Ufo."
Ufo and I are boon companions.
It's good.
Then you would not mind explaining to me the nature of this escort?
Yeah. They look at each other, and the one who didn't get rude with you speaks up again and says, "We are under private orders, Sir Edrich."
This really does seem like a kidnapping. The guy, like, in the robes, is he making any moves? Is he, like, does it seem like he's tied up?
You can give me like an awareness roll, I think, to kind of figure that out.
Absolutely. Da, da, da. 12. Success.
They appear real thin of frame, so either they're kind of like, you know, it's hard to say under the cloth, but it's not clear. It just seems strange in general, but their details are purposefully obscured. Let's say it that way.
Yes. Would you do me one small boon? May I see the face of the one you escort, knowing indeed that I am no enemy of Silchester, rather an ally?
Very well. Okay. And at that point, they go to move the person's like stuff off, and then all of a sudden, you see both of them grab their swords, and they both move into combat. You are fighting a 2v1, sir.
Totally fine. We'll see if I survive. Last time I did a 2v1 wasn't great. Are they on their horses?
Yes. 1 sec. Let's kick up some combat music. If I can find it. We'll have to use that for now. Okay.
Oh boy. This could get ugly.
we shall use... They aren't Cornish mercenaries, but we're going to use this.
Oh, they are good at what they do. Loyalty Lord 25.
Holy crap.
Indeed. You got good rolls. Alright.
Let's pray there are no archers with them.
There's one of them with bow 27.
My one weakness: enemies and pain and sharp objects.
Sharp objects, specifically in my leg. I would like, if I could, to invoke a passion.
Go for it.
I will not have my children made fatherless, for I have felt that pain. So they're on horses and I'm on horse.
Instead, you shall make their children feel the pain of being fatherless.
Exactly.
Okay. Given the proximity of this, I think they're both using swords.
Indeed.
They got you 2 versus 1, so I don't think they're gonna impassion immediately anyways. So we'll go one round and we'll see how it fares, and then depending on that. Hey, welcome in All Things Fantasy.
I'm going to put 13 on the first, 14 on the second. So I'll roll for the first.
Okay, I'm ready to go for the first.
— 14 over 20.
Got him.
And critical on the second. On a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, and a good thing too. Christ.
Yeah. Okay, so nothing on... You're going to get your damage on the first guy. And then we're going into new crit rolls, which we haven't done yet. So this should be exciting.
21 on the first guy.
21?
Yep.
Okay. 2. With crit? Did you... Or no, you didn't crit.
I
did you?
didn't crit on the first one. Crit on the second guy.
So you take some damage. Okay, so with the new rules, I want to double check, but I believe it's regular damage, no armor involved.
Ooh, that could be pretty bad. Is it
Both.
to both of us? Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this. Shield apply or just no armor?
No armor, no shield, but just the dice damage.
Indeed. 15 to him.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Scared.
Strength and size.
Oh. Oh, no, wait.
No,
good, that
no,
wasn't-
you're good.
That wasn't it rolled. Oh.
12 damage.
Okay.
He takes 15. So you do both, I believe, have to test. What's your size, actually, Thomas?
My size is 15.
Okay, so you don't have to test. He does.
I am quite lucky. I don't think it knocks me to major wound.
Wait, what? You should have healed because it's been months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
healed fully?
Yeah. Well, what's your healing rate? Three a week?
It was 3. I had myself at 25.
So I'm gonna say it's at least 9 weeks. So 27 health back.
Alright, in that case, yeah, I'd have healed up to full. So I am at 15. Very good.
Okay. So good news is you hurt him more than he hurt you. Bad news is you got hurt and both of them are still standing. You're still
Indeed.
impassioned because it's a regular like combat. Both of them are a little wounded. One of them's a little wounded. One of them's a lot wounded. You're also not feeling great with 12 straight.
Yeah. I'm going to.
You're still impassioned.
Oh, you're muted.
If you
I
end
am?
up immediately
Immediately dying here.
immediately getting captured by the Cornish, just leaving Saxon captivity and walking directly into Cornish arms, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Is there a path to rescuing this thing that's light of frame and just fully fleeing?
Yes. You'd still be splitting. You'd have to split 3 times. 2 full defense would be it, and you'd be using horsemanship, not your battle skill. Like, you'd be using horsemanship for all 3 tests, effectively.
Got you.
Right? But you could do a full defense, which gives you that extra plus 10.
Indeed. I'm good at swording. The problem is these people are pretty good at swording as well.
Indeed.
I think
You're getting the impression that these guys might not be mercenary knights. They might be
Yes.
incognito.
if they're willing to straight up kill a marshal, they're clearly working for something interesting.
Nefarious, yeah.
Would it be more or less risky to take the hostage is my question. Because I damaged them both, but I didn't damage them a lot.
Right. I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to give you bad advice on the dice because I'm
Yeah.
not sure what way the dice are going to swing.
Indeed.
They're both standing pretty good. Like, think about if you took 15, you'd still be in pretty good shape, right? That's kind
Yeah.
of similar to
Having
them.
taken 12, I'm fine. I think I could knock this person next fight. I probably couldn't knock them both.
Yeah.
It'd be a risk, to be sure. I think I might go for another sortie.
Okay. All right. That is your final answer?
I don't know that this person has an exalted passion in character.
Right.
So I think I will. This is tricky. No, you know what? Let's just rescue the thing. We're in friendly territory. We can
Try to
get
ride
allies.
somewhere safe.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
This will be the second time that I have picked someone from horseback.
Okay. So I will not impassion with them this round, given this. So you'll be competing against Sword 19 and Sword 19.
Indeed.
You get your plus 10 to each of the rolls. Right?
All right. Will I be splitting my horsemanship or just rolling?
You do have to split your horsemanship still. And by 3, because one of them is going to be you getting the person. So you don't have to compete against anything, you just have to succeed that one. So that's its own piece.
I'm gonna do 5, 5, and 6. The 5's for the sword, the 6 for the grounding.
Okay. Understood. So tell me what you're rolling first, and I'll roll in counter.
I'm rolling my horsemanship against the first sword guy.
Okay.
Come on. Success.
Higher than
Higher
his.
success.
He swings. You manage to move out of the way with your horse. Just kind of stop. You can raise your shield too. That would make sense, right? Because he's
Indeed.
yeah.
Raising the shield, letting it glance off. They probably expected him to go for another attack.
Yeah.
All right. Second one, horsemanship. Low success.
Lower than
Higher
you
than his.
success. That is pure.
Yeah.
That is. There's a
Wow.
1 in. Yeah. Actually,
Oh
two
my
two
God.
out of 20
like,
chance that was first.
Indeed.
Close to the skin.
Yeah.
God
Yeah,
is with you tonight.
Hey, I might get another spiritual thing. The shield is actually a little bit too slow, but he tilts his head just far enough that it even misses clean the gorget. Okay, and one last one. This one I'll be roll is my 6. 6 plus 10 is this.
And
this
you're not
is where
competing.
I fumble. Success.
All right. You pull the the hostage, we'll just call it that, free. You realize that they're bound in such a way where the cloak is actually like tied to them, so they couldn't get out, and you can feel like their hands are bound underneath it.
Hold still, I have you. And he is on a full sprint. While they're still reeling from their attacks, horse gallops. We are on our way.
Okay. All right. They will pursue you at least for a short bit. We're gonna say roll a d6. That's how many rounds you are away from getting to safety.
Indeed. Come on, big money.
Okay.
Bigger than I expected money. Bigger than I like money.
4 rounds.
Small money.
They're gonna ride after you. You're still impassioned. The one guy with 25, I think, given the nature of this, has to. He has
Indeed.
to impassion.
It makes a lot of sense.
Just a regular.
Succeeds.
Yeah. Okay, so you are doing a horsemanship contested against them. It's like a race just for 4 rounds. They are 1
Absolutely.
round behind you. If they tie you, they get, if they beat you, they get within range to strike. If you beat them, you get 2 spaces away.
Yeah.
So you're 1 space away right now. When you're ready, go ahead and give me your horsemanship test.
16 over 20.
Okay. First one's verse 15.
We got that one.
Second one, ooh, jeez.
Indeed. He's got a good horsemanship.
Wow.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
So they are officially two spaces behind you, and you've got 3 rounds left.
Very good. Why does this keep happening whenever I ride anywhere? He says to the hostage.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course this person's just because they are gagged and bound.
I have gotten a low roll there.
Okay. Failed roll.
Oh,
So I think he just slows
good
down.
for-
Like he recognizes he's not going to be able to catch you. So he slows.
he knows what it is to work with an absolute psycho and knows that absolute psycho's going for it. Oh,
Yeah.
indeed.
The other guy, however, manages to catch up, and you see him riding right beside you. He's gonna try and clash with you here, Thomas. You can clash back if you want.
I think I will clash back
Okay.
because the alternative is just taking it, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh boy. Critical.
Oh! Get him!
We'll see.
Yep.
Hey! He does not
Yeah.
crit!
Yep. All right.
Okay.
That's what I like to see. That's what I'm talking about.
17,
And that's
18.
what I'm talking about. That is 35 damage.
That might get him because he already has 15.
Yeah, buddy.
That's. Hold on. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. 19 more damage. He definitely is going to. You see, you're with your sword, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to strike you, and you just kind of turn around and surprise him. He doesn't expect you to actually fight back at this point, and you just run him right through the neck with your blade, and you pull back out, and you see him pitch over and fall to the ground.
Very, very good.
Okay.
The optimal outcome, I should think.
Yeah.
There's a moment where his bloodlust rises and his eyes dart, glinting darkly over to the other one. But he's got a hostage. He's not going to risk their life.
Okay. Okay. So
I got that one right.
I just need to do something real quick because I forgot a name. Oh, that's not where I want to go. All right, you can have 50 glory for that.
Beautiful.
And then just quickly looking up a name. We'll kind of do like we're not going to do any role play around it. But when you have a chance to breathe and stop and reveal the hostage, you see it's Lady Ingwin.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, the claimed heir of Riddikin.
I should have killed the other one. Still, good to know you're safe.
With that, do you? She's happy to have you take her to her uncle Ulfius, or otherwise you can. I mean, technically she's her hostage. If you wanted to take her back and claim ransom on her, you could.
I think that'd be a bit of a dick move.
Yes,
I will be
it's 100% dick move, but I have to ask the question.
Indeed, it is Anarchy, and Edrich is a schemer, but his schemes rely on people not knowing how much of a dick he is. He will escort her to Duke Ulfius, which would probably be a surprise to him when the marshal who was captured and ransomed by Sled just shows up going, "Here is your niece.
Yeah.
There's been an act of war."
He's quite satisfied with that, so he's going to give you 5 librum as well.
Very
as like
nice.
a purse for her bounty.
That's good. I am quite poor, so that 5 librum does help.
All right, good stuff, sir. That could have gone so bad it's not funny. So
very bad.
Given
the moment
who this
I saw
was,
those stats,
yeah.
The moment I saw those stats, I was quite worried.
All right, that will bring us into our first feast in a very long time, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's cut over to the feast screen.
Feast time.
Ah, yes. The OG music. One sec. All right. Given it was a matter of very expensive and costly war, I'm going to say it's a weird. Hold on. My Roll20 screen's a little off here. One sec.
Question: does Liam get the advantage on app rolls as acting marshal?
Yes.
Probably not, because I think you come back. Oh,
For the year, though, he played the role for about 2/3 of the important part of the year.
I didn't consider that. That being said, there might be some things happening here. Okay, cool. So advantage on the appeal roll. Bada boom. That's a success. Give me a crit. That's not a crit. All right. Success on appearance.
By the way, I spent a bunch of time looking for. I spent a whole bunch of time looking for Sir Lloyd's death, and I could not find it. I found him alive as
he's dead.
As late as 499, so or 501 actually. Thomas was saying cold, glaring things as Edrich at him as a result of that. We're gonna go with 2 rounds for this feast because of the cost of the war.
Florence gets +1 for his jewelry. He
didn't
fumbled.
save me
Never mind.
They didn't save me a seat, so I know how you feel. Oh, so you, despite that, you still get normal.
All right.
Oh.
This is an outrage. Oh, never mind.
I have to sit with other knights? What kind of news is this?
What kind of bum do you take me for?
Yeah. Thomas, are you below the salt?
I am below the salt. I failed
We'll assume
my
you
appearance
ride
roll.
in like right at Winter Feast, so there's like no spot
Yeah,
for you, and Virgil is,
Yeah.
That's
you know.
exactly what I was imagining. Like, the things are underway and the doors open, admitting Edrich going, oh good, made it.
Virgil
Made it
passed,
just in time.
right?
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh shit, Sir Edric's here! Quickly, make some room, make some room!
You know, I bet you I have to restart the API. No, it worked. Yay. Okay.
Yay!
Roast heron, beaver tails, and whole dry spices to aid in digestion. Haven't seen that one in a while.
Yum.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Love those whole dry spices. Even a stick of cinnamon.
While I was convalescing for the better part of 2 months, I missed the whole dry sticks of cinnamon.
Ooh, cayenne pepper.
Oh,
Boy, is that good.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
I chew cardamom pods like Tic Tacs.
Let me.
Freaks.
I can't remember if Kibno died or not. We're gonna have him away though. I think he did.
He did not.
No. Okay. Excellent.
No, someone
still
related. Someone. I think maybe my cousin in Cornwall may have died, but I'm pretty sure Kibno's fine still.
Okay. Let me just.
I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I'm not though.
There was one other thing. Oh, right. Let me just see if there are any special guests, because I forgot.
And the rest.
The heck? There we go. Okay. So something you notice here, all of you, that you haven't seen, this is the happiest you've seen the people of the court of Salisbury in a long time. People are celebrating, and it's not even that they're going overboard with it. It's just a sense of like being able to breathe and relax. A certain confidence maybe in what Salisbury is capable of.
For the first time in a while, we've won a pretty good victory alongside knights. And we don't have to worry about the sword of Damocles hovering over our head as much.
On top of that, there will be no tribute paid this year, and no negative wealth rolls for anything. So really good starting spot, with the exception of like if you roll something bad during the winter phase. In any rate, we're gonna go to Sir Virgil first. Let me just shuffle the deck.
Lovely. I have a
Right.
primary concern for Virgil here.
Yep.
No one paid Edric's ransom, right?
Neither you're aware of.
Okay. Why is he here?
That's a good question. You do not have to spend your round. You can do the between the round thing if you want to find that out, but you also
Oh no.
can make that your priority.
I think first I'm going to see if I can snoop around and figure out why Edric's here before Virgil goes to talk to him. What am I gonna roll here? No.
Intrigue would be gossip.
Yes, it would. I'm I'm considering a passion here, and I think I know how I would justify it too.
Fey imposter Edrich. Yeah. You've already had a false Edrich.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a justification for using this. I think Virgil is going to find his Sarum court waifu here and ask her to help ask around. And like figure, because she's way more keyed into that kind of stuff than he is. He's gonna try to get her to help him figure out what's going on without him drawing too much attention to himself.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Well,
It's a success.
That's fine.
All right. Why don't we, for funsies, why don't we have that return at like the right before the start of your next round, sort of thing?
Works for me.
Yeah. Just because she has to go fishing first.
Yeah, give me my coins. Give me my coins.
2, right?
Coins.
I think so, because I'm near the salt and
And
I
Yep.
succeeded.
And you succeeded.
Ooh, speaking of which, I'm off my game. I haven't started the genealogy tracker.
Thomas, by the way, I'm going to add one new task to you. It won't come up that often, but when I name when a named NPC with a token and stuff dies, I'm going to get you to add it.
Understood.
Yeah. Just help with some of the fishing around. Like, why don't we log that too? And I'll try to log it as well, but sometimes I miss it.
Yeah.
If it's in the heat of the moment, or if it's one of those like, let's see who died at the end of the battle rolls, I don't always.
It's a long fucking list.
Indeed.
Okay, that's round 1 for Virgil. Round 1 for Florence.
All right, and this is a 2-round feast. For his first action, he's gonna draw a card. One, two.
You know what I was gonna do, Liam, if that entry roll fumbled?
3.
Oh, you're muted.
I have a feeling I know.
Okay.
Okay, so I have Generous Knight. Rich Generous Knight asks you about your circumstance. This one does not do well for me. Because I'm already great at that.
Yeah. Right.
Pagan Gift, not a pagan. Lady in Distress. Courtesy, that is Florence's shit. And the court jester has singled you out for lampooning.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Merchant of Venom.
Merchant of Venom.
I remember
I
this card.
think... Yeah, Florence is going to do... he is going to... You know what? Merchant of Venom. I think it fits well. Florence is technically the outsider among these people, so it only makes sense whoever is the jester, if there is a court jester, actually.
There would be, yeah. We haven't really... We haven't named any of them other than Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane was the royal one too. I don't think he's around here.
No, he's
Not
not.
until
Is he still alive?
Not until the queen fucking accepts our offer and moves here. God.
I think Kane might have died when everyone was poisoned, but I don't know for sure.
Nope, sure didn't.
Yeah.
No.
He was wounded
He's around
in the
somewhere.
battle beforehand. So.
Oh, that's
Sure.
right. I do remember that. Oh.
Alright. Merchant of Venom, Modest versus Proud. Modest 2. Failure and Proud. So, a success. You laugh along with everyone else, +1 geniality.
Let's give this guy a moniker of some sort. Why don't you roll 2d100 for me, Mark?
Sure.
We can reuse a court jester.
46, 53.
The javelin thrower.
Interesting. I got mourned land. I think this is something to do with Uther, like a mockery of Uther, Pendragon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you?
it
You know?
really depends on who that would go over well with in the court.
Yeah, you know who this is? This is what's his name? Hold on. Is it this?
Hang on, that's
No.
Sir Argon. What's he doing here?
It's been a minute since I've name dropped this guy. He calls himself Sir Blaines and makes a mockery of the former steward of Lev Kamagus, the one who well, you guys all knew him. He was actually married to Dallin's mother for a while.
Indeed.
This is Robert's doing, by the way. Robert thought it would be good to mock his father's like arch rival, even in his death.
I don't remember signing off on this.
It doesn't sound like martial
did this
territory
go
to me. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you get your, what was it, one geniality?
Yep, one geniality.
And then one for where
In
you're
addition
seated.
to the one from, yeah.
All right, so near the salt and 2 geniality. And we go to Edrich. You come in to find a full serum, and your seat is currently held by Virgil.
These matters really do fill up quickly. I think the first thing he would do, and I don't know if it's like a roll that needs to be made, he would like to see if his wife is there, and he would like to go to his wife and tell her that he is alive. If she isn't, he'll draw cards.
Roll a d6, and on a 4, 5, 6, she's here. Otherwise, she... Okay. No, she... You know, with everything that happened, I think she's home right now.
In that case, that is my next step.
Okay.
The first thing, however, Edrich has fresh wounds from his travel. I think he's going to try to, quote-unquote, sit back, relax, find a place below the salt, and in a minute, he's going to report to the people who should be reported to, but at the moment, he's getting his bearings in the party, and will draw some cards.
Guys, help me out. Do you remember Blackwind being dead? I do. I don't know why. Recently, like this year.
He died recently. Yeah, he died in the
That
battle.
does
he
sound
did.
right.
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
know how about recently, but he did die.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe dance. No, my wife is not here. I think a love poem might be suitable. Because Edrich is famous at his compose skill, and I think below the salt, dealing with a number of the lower deckers that he doesn't normally meet with, he's seeing new sides to them, and peering over their shoulder like a specter from the past.
Okay. I like that.
So let's roll compose and see what works. You can't use a simile for something that it is. You say your cheeks are like the blushing ones of a love-struck man, but you are clearly a love-struck man.
Peanuts. Well, what do I do then? You see who he's like staring off at this young maiden, like you can tell she's here. He makes it so obvious that like anyone would notice.
What you need to do is speak from the heart, say how she affects you, what you like about her, and you need to do so in an AABBABAC meter. Let me show you.
Give me a recognized roll. Make it -5.
Absolutely. Success.
Okay. His features sure look familiar. Looks a lot like the Baron Duoc. It's like a real young version of him. Specifically in the face. His hair color is about the same.
You wouldn't happen to be related to Baron Duach, God rest his soul?
No, sir. I'm lowborn.
That didn't quite answer my question, but you do have a certain similarity of frame and feature. Does it seem like he was lying, or does it seem like he's... Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your name, Sir Knight?
Sir Durnford.
Sir Durnford. You have the heart of a poet. You simply lack experience, and I hope you and this young lady here will enjoy love. It is a good thing. I think, like, he analyzes him for a little bit too long before saying, on your way, soldier.
You know that you guys have gone through raising anyone that shows specifically capability in sword and horsemanship and the general like learnings has gotten a trip to being a squire. So this is Anarchy's kind of the first time where that's that whole nobility thing is like, well, we can raise a few more people in order to have soldiers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need warm bodies on horseback.
Yeah.
But yes, I think he'll remember Sir Durnford, because he's definitely thinking this is a bastard situation, and if he needs to, he can see if he can raise him up to some barony.
Okay.
But I think it's very fitting that he opens the door, looks around, sees there's no room for him, wanders around, critiques someone's poetry, then continues on his way.
What was the card worth? 1?
It was worth 1, and since he succeeded, he got
2.
1 more geniality, so 2 for this round. And
Awesome.
I gain +5 on anyone's skill roll during this feast as he returns the favor.
Nice. All right. That brings us back to Virgil. Unless you guys wanted to do anything right now in the in-between. Otherwise, I'll have Orlais come back and then you can decide. Virgil? That works for you?
Yeah, I think that works fine for me. I don't have anything that I want to do in the interim, I think, necessarily. I do want to talk to Edrich, but not until after I have my little gossips, my little informations.
Yeah, I cannot find... I know we have a token for RLA, and I cannot find it. Oh well. Oh well. Dang it. Hold on, 1 sec. I'm just gonna do a quick scan down here, make sure. Nope. Nope, no go. Oh well. So she returns to you.
Well,
the lady of Newton Manor, she motions to Lady Sarah. I overheard her talking about news. It seems that Sir Edrich may have knighted the new king of Essex.
what?
In order to qualify for his exchange and release.
Why would he do that?
She has no idea. That's like noble station is a little bit beyond her as far as understanding that. So she shakes her head. You know him better than I.
one would think. Thank you. You've been a great help to me today, Oriel.
She nods and smiles, and like at that point, like she kind of finishes filling up your wine and then walks away just as Lady Lilo sort of passes you in the other direction, and then you're left to your turn for round 2.
I think we see Virgil stand up and walk in the direction of Edrich, but then go right past him and end up over by Earl Robert and Lady Ellen. I would like to talk to them about this.
I would have gone there first, but I needed geniality.
Okay.
What should I roll for this, Mr. Bob? I guess we can find out after I start asking things. Probably gonna be courtesy.
Yeah, let's figure out what you're asking. I'll probably pause it halfway through and figure out.
As Virgil makes his way up, he bows and he goes, "Oh, Robert, Lady Ellen, I wanted to discuss something with you. I am left a bit confused."
Robert smiles and says, Virgil. Yes, of course. And Lady Ellen looks like she was distracted and she kind of comes to. She was mingling with someone.
Forgive me for the interruption, but this is urgent to me.
What is the matter?
I am surprised to see Edrich here.
Edric's here? They both kind of look out over the crowd.
So I am not the last to know, then. Apparently he arrived not that long ago. No one paid his ransom. Instead, he was released by the King of Essex.
Right. They look at each other, and then Robert says, "We sent a inquiry about a ransom. We never received a reply. Wonder what trickery they're up to." He says suspiciously as he looks about.
I have heard that he was offered amnesty in exchange for knighting the Saxon king.
I test some hate Saxon here, one sec. Gotta see what they're at.
Please fail, my boy. I'm a schemer.
His dad was killed by Saxons, just saying.
All of our dads were killed by Saxons.
Not mine! Mine died for other things. I think a Pict killed him. I don't know.
Ooh,
oh,
that's
you lucky
interesting.
devil.
One sec.
The devil wants me alive.
So
When
it
the time
seems.
comes for our final battle.
You know what? When the devil challenged you to a fiddling contest, he didn't expect you to have a fucking broadsword.
You really should have. I carried no instrument.
Robert shrugs and says, Edrich usually, he goes about things in an unorthodox way, but they usually work out in their favor. Maybe he's fooled these Saxons into thinking that was a better deal than emptying our coffers trying to retrieve our marshal yet again.
Wasn't it? I don't disagree that I'm sure if this is Edrich, that he had some plan with it. That must be the case. I can't imagine giving them legitimacy having any benefit. But there must be some plan. You make a good point, Robert.
He looks surprised that you said that and kind of nods. He's like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I really did. Yeah.
I love the little guy.
I think Virgil like starts to like, okay, this matter is settled, and just as he's about to leave, he stops and he goes, Lady Ellen, I didn't get opinion from you on this.
She sighs. She just says, I've been wondering a little bit about Sir Edrich of late. If perhaps he's going senile at an early age. Some of his decisions have been a little strange.
I can't say that I agree, but I
mean no offense, it's just...
No, you look after the realm, and you look after your son. These are things that should not be questioned.
She nods. Well, you perhaps you have a closer relationship with him than I do, outside of the council room. Perhaps we can leave it with you to figure out what his plan is and report back to us, she says, and then she looks at Robert. Robert nods and says, yes, it's good. Find out what his true motivations are, and if they are in favor of Salisbury.
I was deeply embarrassed the last time that someone posed as Edrich and I didn't catch it. I won't let that happen again. You have my word.
Now I gotta test suspicious.
Indeed.
Honestly,
Honestly, if I were in your position, I'd be going, yeah, this is an imposter again, isn't it?
I mean, surely it couldn't be. Surely they wouldn't try the same trick
Try
twice.
it twice.
But
Yeah.
on the other hand,
They
it
have
worked
tried to
really
kidnap
well
you
the last
so many
time.
times. Yes,
Also,
exactly.
to be fair, it'd be the last thing we'd expect.
of course, they both pass their suspicion.
Indeed.
I'm fucking up your life so hard on accident, on purpose, Edrich. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
They both nod, and Robert says, don't make any public statement about this potentially being another spy in the skin of Edrich. We'll make sure that the small council is aware, and we'll all keep an eye on him in the meantime.
Right. Until then, as I say, you have my word. I'll serve you to the best I can in this matter.
All right. I guess we didn't test anything for you.
Could be courtesy, or... I'm not good at courtesy, mind you.
Take the higher of courtesy or intrigue, I would say at this point.
Okay.
Add your geniality to it. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
That's a pass. I love it when a plan comes together.
Indeed. No, don't worry about it. You're
Together
doing your
comes
duty.
to plan.
Florence's turn.
All right, time for some intrigue. Florence is going to be going around, listening to conversations, talking to people, generally trying to get people's impressions on whether they see a war with Cornwall coming on in the near future. Gauging people's opinions, thoughts.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Intrigue +2. I was gonna say, actually, yeah. Would this be able to use hospitality?
Yeah, because you're not doing anything like.
All right.
Yeah. non-hospitable.
Outright hostile.
Yeah.
Says this will be intrigue plus 12. Critical.
What's your base?
17.
The rumors that Summerland has spread or has been conquered is kind of like a wide topic at this point for those that are listening to gossip. For whatever reason, they appear to be calling it Somerset now. Almost everyone thinks that Nanteleod will go to war with Cornwall soon. Because it would be leaving a threat to his allies and someone who doesn't have claim to Logres inside of Logres. See, so the rest of Cornwall, that was Logres, but they had claim to Cornwall, the entirety of Cornwall. Nothing gave them claim to Summerland.
Yeah,
it's seen as an invasion of Logres, and so for their support to the allies of Logres, many are speculating that a war is coming between the two, sort of the two great kings. If there are three great kings right now that are not Saxons, it's Nanteleod, Idris, and Lot.
Right. Okay, but it doesn't seem like, from what you can tell of the general people of the area, whether they're specifically on board with going to war with Cornwall.
Many are looking forward to like a good old-fashioned war, not against the Saxons. So yeah, it's probably about 50-50. Like 50-50 of the knights. And so the thing about that is they would actually have, even if Salisbury chose not to present a formal force in Summerland, they could be called in as allies of Nanteleod and wouldn't be in breach of service as long as they were permitted by the marshal to go.
All right, good to know.
I know it's not that exciting, but that's the reality of it. But there hasn't been any formal call with a critical. There's been no formal call by like Robert on whether or not there will be a march into Summerland. He doesn't sound like he's like pushing for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That fits. I think I should be at one more because I got a critical.
Oh yeah, true. And Robert hates the Saxons despite his failed roll there. He's got a 17 in it, so
far more interested in going to war with like Wessex than
yeah, it's the impression you get. All right, and Edrich.
I think Edrich would like to make his report to the Count, or rather to the Earl and the Lesser. It's been a while, and though it seems that there is an acting marshal, he's got important diplomatic information anyway.
Okay.
I would like to approach the Salt if I could. And I would like to bring to bear my +5 I got from my earlier succeeded roll. Essentially, I say to Sir Daffod, you know who I am. Herald me.
Very well. He looks excited. He says, presenting Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke. Hold on. Actually, he has a recognizer 20. Yep, he'll get that right.
Yeah.
I was about to roll and see if he says Winterbourne gun it on accident.
If he said Winterbourne gun it, he's going through a table.
That would have been so funny. And what a fun reversal of roles.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. So many in the court are surprised to see you as you enter.
Quite so. Edrich was definitely going for a kind of shocked murmur, like he's alive or he's free type thing.
You said Harold.
Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It heralded you in. Oh, you mean about their reaction? You mean?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
About the reaction to the court as they realize they look
there,
and see that
there
the
is
guy
very
is
much
there.
that. When I say they look at you, it's like a lot of them are like whispering and gossiping and looking at you and
Exactly.
trying to figure out how the hell you're here, because there's been no formal release, and most of the ones that would be nosy already know that there's been no formal reply and thought you were as good as dead, probably. So, or at least
Indeed.
like being held as a long-term political hostage. So
Yeah. He's got a fresh-ish injury on him, but he will approach the table and see if he is allowed to, because etiquette means, and also perhaps Virgil's own words mean that he might be turned away. Would that be courtesy or intrigue?
let's do. What are you after? It depends on your motive.
I mostly want to talk to the Earl, say, this is how I am free, this is what has happened to me, I am alive and ready to continue my duties. Additionally, Ridicon is continued to be contested, and the niece of the Duke Ulfius was almost kidnapped, though I foiled it on my way back.
Here's the way I generally prefer to use intrigue and courtesy. Intrigue is for when you're either dealing with gossip or you're doing something manipulative, slightly underhanded. So if the goal ever leads to, and I want this out of them, then that's intrigue. If it's more like, I want to present with good etiquette, appear like I'm sound and, in the right place to do all the right things, be very soldiery, that would just be courtesy.
I think it would be courtesy. What I want is to continue as things were before my capture, but the way to do that is to act as if it is.
Understood. All right.
So would that be courtesy?
Yes. Yep.
I get +2 from geniality and +5 from the assistance of my good buddy, the maybe bastard.
Courtesy.
I didn't need
All right. Yeah, they both look at you like Robert and Ellen, and they nod, and they're like, "Welcome back, Sir Edrich."
It is good to be back. I can only apologize for my absence, and indeed that I arrived late to this feast.
Yeah.
I have some reports which could wait for a later time, but given they are relatively important and have to do with my return, I might as well make it known to you here and now. By your leave, Earl.
Very well.
The original intention was for King Sled now to ask for a ransom exorbitant in nature, one that no county would ever pay. I believe that letter may have been released, but I and an ally within the court arrange another matter. The king has a interesting approach and belief for what knighthood would give him, and I found a way to lean into that. The thought of slaying him, in turn dying myself, crossed my mind, but I figured it would be easier, indeed, if I were to depart. That said, I have brought him in line with perhaps the ideals of knighthood, and he will either act as he has already done with no changes, or he will expect people to view him differently, which is a strategic weakness. Speaking of strategic weaknesses, the civil war regarding Ridicon continues apace, and I foiled a kidnapping for Countess Ingwin of Ridicon, the niece of Duke Ulfius, on my way home.
Robert smiles and he says, "A kidnapping?"
Yes, I came across 2 knights moving incognito and a bound form in robes. I thought something was suspicious, so I asked questions of them, and they drew steel. I slew one and rescued the hostage. The other, unfortunately, as you can see, and he gestures to in his dress clothes, like there is still a significant wound.
He looks impressed. He says, Lady Ingwin, I remember her. She's the Duke Ulfius's niece. Yes.
That is correct.
Mm.
I imagine those who currently hold Ridicon arranged the kidnapping in a bid to assert more claim or to remove a claimant to it and further their legitimacy. I have no proof of this, but it is the most likely response.
Indeed. And the other one, did you chase him down and kill him?
Unfortunately, he yet lives. I believed... Oh, hello. Sorry, the cat has... I'm mildly allergic. The cat... What was that? Unfortunately, no. I deemed the safety of the hostage to be of greater import.
Where did you stab him? The one you slew?
One single strike.
And with that, Lady Ellen clears her throat, and Robert's like, right. What did you mean this? Hold on. Oh, let me just test something. I don't want to play someone that's not quite there. No, he doesn't. Robert's like, correct. Very fascinating, this knighting story. Yes. He looks to Ellen and he says, I believe my mother had a question, and he doesn't know how to hand it off to her, so it's real awkward. And then Ellen says, first off, I'm glad to see that you've returned, Sir Edrich, and have you had an opportunity to speak with your wife yet?
I have not. I came here to deliver my report, though I hoped my wife would be here. I imagine she is looking after the children at home. That will be my next stop.
Well, she has come to us several times, awaiting news on your return, so she'll be quite pleased. You mentioned an ally within the Essex court?
In a fashion, yes. A kinsman. He will lean closely.
Of your wife?
Not close enough to be. No, of my sister's. A brother-in-law who was subjugated along with Essex and the lands over there.
Robert says, a traitor then.
A traitor indeed, but traitors very easily betray anyone. Unfortunately, that was enough to be levered. And for all his faults, he loves his family. And luckily for me, I applied.
They nod at each other, and Robert says, well, welcome back, Edrich. Of course, don't mind that Virgil's in your seat. He will be remaining here for this feast.
It is a fine thing. I trust he has been comporting himself well, as I expect. He was my first choice for my replacement, should something unfortunate happen, and indeed it did. It is good fortune, and by the grace of God, and the foolishness of others, that I am here now.
If you look over at Virgil at any point when you're speaking to him, or speaking about him...
He would, yeah. Especially
Virgil's face is not comforting. His brow is really furrowed in a mixture of confusion and other emotions you've seen on him that have never led to good things.
I've survived all of those. I'm sure a conversation will deal with it quickly.
You've been to his wedding. You're fine.
I've been to his wedding. Yeah, exactly. What happened to me there again? But yes, it's clear to see that Edrich is. He will give a nod of greeting, but there's no fear or concern in his eyes. He's doing his job, doing his duty, letting people know about political weaknesses and various military things. Oh, while Virgil is acting marshal, I shall give him the best details that I can have memorized about the court of Sled.
Oh, that won't be necessary. Share what you will with your allies, but you are returned as our marshal, Edrich.
Excellent. Then I shall have a report drawn up and I shall give it to you officially.
All right. With that, you did roll, right?
I did, yes.
And you're below the salt, so that's 1, right? This time?
Yep, just 1.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to the end of the official feast. Is there anything you want to do as far as interactions with one another? And we should probably do something because, like, I like the vignettes and stuff, but it always feels awkward when you guys don't have, some kind of.
Virgil would like to talk to Edrich alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Florence would also like to talk to Edrich.
Then we can talk alone together, as there
No.
are no secrets between us.
Exactly.
Florence, go first. I'm gonna use the restroom while you do this.
Oh, you know what? Actually, why don't we go BRB?
Take a little
I
break?
could use. Yeah, we'll use a quick break and see you guys soon. And we're back with our final bit of roleplay for the year 505. A couple of interactions between some of our PCs here. Who's going first?
Florence?
Yeah, I think Liam has volunteered me, so...
Yeah. It's all you, buddy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's probably
ran in here super fast.
sometime after the feast, Florence would approach Sir Edrich and say, "My, you're a sight for sore eyes."
And you as well. I apologize that I couldn't send word faster, but any courier would have been outstripped by me delivering the news personally. I hope that you and Salisbury has been well in my absence.
Relatively. In truth, I almost thought you dead. I'm glad to see that's not the case.
Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated, but for a while I did imagine that my path would be heading that way as well. As fortunate indeed that I didn't.
What did you get out of there? I don't think I heard.
A deal was made. My life in exchange for a marshal, knighting King Sled. He seemed to value it more than the extortionate ransom he had planned for me.
From what I heard, it was most likely he gave the ransom, knowing that we would not afford it, and he would be able to execute you.
And
But
use
I'm
me as a
glad to see
blood
that did not happen.
sacrifice. Yes.
Yeah.
I am, perhaps, if I may be so bold, even more pleased to say that it did not happen to me.
Indeed.
But, yes. How have you fared?
Quite well, actually. I've spent the last couple weeks or so, looking after a castle in Somerset.
Oh, that's right. Why did they change the name? No matter. You went from one war to another, it seems.
Yes, but luckily I didn't have to do much for the second one. Meliodas seems to have done most of the work. Oh, and Prince Mark.
Yes, I suppose so. He is cutting his teeth on the Summerlanders. While up there, did anything, and I am sure you know what I mean by that, catch your ears or draw your eye?
No, not too much. Just a little bit about the Roman and our old friend.
The Agrius.
I've also heard that the Black Dog has been causing some issues for the Cornwall Knights, warriors.
Yes.
But apparently,
well,
he still lives.
that is fortunate indeed. If only one would know the identity of this black dog, that one could send them something. Who can say? But, in any case, that the Agrius is on the payroll of King Idris is an unfortunate confluence of events.
I fear it may be connected to something far deeper that we have talked about in the past. I think Siagris is looking for something. Or someone.
And we had better hope he does not find it in Somerset. The man must be in his 60s.
Yet for some reason he is as elusive as ever. Like a ghost. I don't think it'll be long though. We can't keep this up forever.
Either old age or the sword will see him through. I would ask you. Cornwall seems to be getting more and more land and going from strength to strength. But the time soon approaches, I should think, Even those I believed quite secular in nature and unlikely to believe in prophecies speak of the Winter Prince and the true king returning. The time is soon, and in that time, there will only be a few paths open to those who are interested in a unified Britain.
Yet the question is, who is to unify us? I have my suspicions around Nanteleod, despite what he has said.
It is all very well and good to have a reputation of honor, but to give up so much land and power, to give it to another, while still desiring high kingship, it is difficult to swallow.
Indeed, because it is not his to take. I do
Neither
wonder how
indeed.
things will go.
Quite so. But the time cannot be long off. We can only do our best, and I can tell you, and I do hope that you know the time comes soon, that King Idris is not the true path either.
He looks around. Who can say?
Indeed. In any case, we shall see what challenges face Salisbury. We have won a great victory, and it is my shame that I was not there in the aftermath. But I am here now, and we shall see what the winter brings. And
Indeed we will. I am curious as to where Salisbury will stand coming battles. Though knowing you, I think I already know the answer.
I do find I strive to walk the line between predictability and slyness, but in this I think you have the right of it.
And it's no secret that I'm here for a reason. And it seems I have my answer. For whatever reason that may be.
Quite so. We shall see what the wars to come shall bring. Either way, I wish you luck.
As I wish you as well. In the end, what will be will be. We can only have hope for the future of Britain.
More than that, we will bring it about.
He nods.
Yeah.
All right.
I
And
think he will do a manly arm hug thing.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
yeah. The handshake, the bicep flex handshake. Yeah. Zoom in. Camera zooms in.
King
Okay.
Idris got you pushing too many pencils.
I said that once. We had a when I was bouncing, we had a bartender. His name Dylan. I said, Dylan, you son of a bitch. And I said, do you hear that a lot? And he just looked at me like, oh, and he's like, not a day goes by that I don't hear that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm like, it's the first time it came in my head. Yeah.
Yeah. I did not either. I did not.
Oh,
Hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Every time I see somebody do it to you in the chat, I go, oh, poor guy.
Every time.
It gets old. Yeah. Okay, so next conversation, I think this is Edrich and Virgil, if I remember correctly.
Indeed. And we'll see if it's Edric's last conversation ever.
The door opens slowly and ominously, like creaking as it does. Virgil's standing in the doorway. I'm happy to see you still live.
And are you? I have been looking over, by which I mean it has been dictated to me. I have been listening to the reports that have been made in my absence, and I am pleased to hear you have done a good job. I expected nothing less, and I am certain that the Saxons that raid here have been punished.
I haven't had an opportunity to do anything worth praising yet.
Even so, taking up the mantle is an important thing. And I'm glad it was you.
Of course.
You have something to say to me. It is plain on your face, as it was in the feast.
I'm confused. You didn't speak much on your knighting of the Saxon king.
I
You
did
said
not.
he was confused about what that meant.
King fled. He understands, in one fashion, what knighthood is. He believes that a knight is a killer. But he also believes that the name will give him respect. He does not realize that it is not the title that gives respect. It is the person behind it. We have known many unworthy knights. And it shames me that I have made another. But he is a killer. He has earned glory in battle, and, as a knight, he will do one of two things. The first, he will either ascribe to the traditions close to the Kimri people, and thus become closer to us, more inclined to ransom instead of sacrifices, more inclined to duel instead of raid, or he will continue to act exactly as he has, and nothing will change. I expect him to do the latter. There was a moment where I held the sword in my hand, where I knew, in a flash of motion, I could cleave his head from his shoulders.
Why didn't you?
Because I promised my wife I would come home.
That's it?
I would be prepared to give my life for Salisbury, to protect the virtues that I was knighted to. And indeed I would have, if
Are
it would
you
have done
joking?
anything.
You just
I
gave
do.
those virtues away to a Saxon who has no respect for them, who wants to use them to angle himself into a better position to take a throne that doesn't belong to him.
What you have just said means that he will not succeed.
That's not the point, Edrich. You said that it's the man that makes the knight, but that's not true, is it? A knight is something that is given. Knighthood is given. And that choice to give it is the important element. It's a thing that you can't take back. The last blow that you will ever take that is not what's the fucking line?
Without
last
due recourse.
Blow that,
Yeah.
yes, will be unanswered.
The last blow that will ever be unanswered. You've given him that now. And you did it because you didn't want to die?
You come very close to accusing me of cowardice, Sir
I
Virgil.
am accusing you of cowardice. You've admitted it yourself to me just now.
Do I strike you, and do my actions strike you, as the actions of one who fears death?
I'm not sure.
Edrich will stand from his position, and you can tell that despite he's actually increased in dexterity.
He's faster now.
But he's still at 5. But he will make his way over to stand in front of Virgil, and he will say, "I will say many things, and I would like you to listen. A man is determined by what he does, who he is, and what oaths he swears. I swore many things to my wife and to my children and to my house, but I also swore to be a sword for my liege lord. I am a weapon, Sir Virgil. I am a weapon to be used as effectively as I can, and so far I'd like to think I've been effective despite missteps. If I had died there, claiming only one king, I would be an ineffective trade. As it is, I have placed something in his hands that he will poison himself with. And when next we meet in battle, I know that this time victory will be ours. If this does not satisfy you, then perhaps you would prefer another way. The sort that normally follows accusing one of cowardice and dishonor. I consider you a friend, but I understand.
I'm confused, Edrich. I have known you to be someone worth following. And I feel as if a curtain has been lifted from my eyes, and I'm seeing you differently.
What do you see?
Someone who has never understood when I thought they did.
Hmm.
I will not be challenging you to a duel, Edrich. Not for this.
I'm glad to hear it.
Don't be so glad just yet. I'm going to be watching you. I'm going to be watching your heart, Edrich. And I'm going to see where it really lies. What's important to you. And I swear that if I find it to be lacking, you will not have my support any longer.
I do not mind your scrutiny, Virgil. Indeed, I welcome it. Those words have been said to me before, even if not openly. My loyalties have been questioned, my priorities, and all those who have thought to test me have seen me pass. I am what I am, and I am the same person who you followed. We shall see how that lies.
I think there's a moment where it looks like he might want to say something, but in the end, he just turns and closes the door behind him.
I'm so sorry.
Don't you be sorry. I've inflicted this upon you, sir. I have to say, legit though, that was very, very close.
Yes.
That was really,
I could definitely
really
feel it.
close.
Like, Edrich couldn't say, well, yeah, the guy's gonna use it terribly, and, it was the most advantageous move I could make. Instead, he put things in more practical terms.
It wouldn't work for that 20 or that 20 honor. It wouldn't work.
Exactly. Yeah,
we'll talk
definitely
about it
would've.
later. We'll talk about it
Yeah.
later.
One sec.
You lose
Oh, say, Thomas.
169 points of trusting.
For a moment,
yeah,
I
actually-
thought you were going to roll pride to see if you lost your shit.
I honestly, I definitely thought about it, but I looked and I was like, ooh, no, not yet.
I'd
Not
say-
yet.
That's the thing. Is like I think even though we have certain traits that would relate to that kind of stuff, I do think because we're PCs and because we have all this history, there is an extra layer of unspoken, like, okay, we'll tolerate way more with this person.
Definitely.
But
it got close.
It did get close.
On that note, Mr. Bob, can I please replace my trusting Edrich directed trait with a suspicious Edrich directed trait?
Yeah.
Yes, but we need to re-roll it.
Yeah.
D6.
Ooh.
I know this is going to sound nuts, but can I impassion this? I have an exalted honor that's
You cannot.
affecting it.
D6.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your base suspicion, anyways?
10.
Okay, so 12. Yeah, and that can go up
You impression it,
accordingly.
and you get a plus 10.
If you feel like there's reason to trigger it up more, as things happen.
I mean, it seems about right for where it is. For somebody,
I agree.
Yeah, for somebody who's even in trusting suspicious, a 2 is still a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. Let me see. Yep. So as the two of you are kind of walking out of that room, you see Lady Ellen and her entourage kind of walking by. She nods to the two of you and then continues on.
Does she notice the vibes?
It's hard to say.
Girl, help.
The girl requires no help.
Is it?
The girl is
is it-
handling the situation.
Is it odd that we're noticing her entourage walking by?
I think you guys specifically chose somewhere to be like private, so it's just kind of like, well, that was well timed that you finished when you did, or else there might have been eavesdroppers.
Indeed.
So-
Okay. I
Yeah.
think, if possible, Virgil will offer to join the escort.
Yeah, it's just our personal escort, like our household knights or their household knights.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll end with a couple of things. So, and we'll obviously move into the new year in the process.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna kind of do these things individually here. It'll be real brief. These are sort of like little sort of unspoken vignettes. We see a rider with a flag from Cornwall approaching Idmiston for Sir Florence. And Florence receives another scroll with this time from King Idris. Okay. And then you open it up and we'll pause that for the next time. We see Edrich.
There's a shocked expression on his face, and we cut away.
Yeah. We see Edrich arrive home, and Oslif comes running out, and the two hug. How tall is Edrich again?
Edrich is size.
Does she pick you up when she hugs you?
She absolutely picks him up. He's spun
That's
around
not
in a
that.
little circle.
It's not that bad. 15's not that bad. If you're like 12 or something, yeah, that would happen. But
Oh yeah, she would fully dwarf me.
Yeah,
At the
you-
moment, she's just quite a bit bigger.
you tippy toe. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And then as we go to Virgil, we see a rider along with Virgil, and the two of them in the forest in the winter, and we see it's Virgil's son, Cato, who has survived and has recovered. So the two of you are spend some
Cato,
time
darling,
together.
you have earned the right to become a Jimmy. Yes, you've earned the right to become.
You're gonna
Jimmy,
make your.
Cato.
You're gonna downgrade your son to red shirt.
No, I'm gonna upgrade him to red shirt. Let's be real.
That's,
Before I didn't know who you were, my son. Now.
not because
Who
you
you
weren't
again?
evident, but
Let's
mostly
read my
because I
son.
was an absent father. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Do you feel like Dexter was a good dad? Because I feel like
Dexter was a fantastic dad.
Okay.
I'm asking legitimately. I've never seen the show.
He was.
Yeah, so we will begin the next time in 506. I don't think we need to do the winter phase unless you guys really want to here. We can probably call it. It's 10:30. Just try to have it done before the session next time. I will put us over to the winter phase. Let's do some outros real quick. We're going to start with you, Thomas.
Hello. I have been Thomas, and I have been Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke. Accidental hero, and figure of suspicion to those close to him now. And still Marshal of Salisbury, baby. That has been me. That's my outro. I'm glad I'm alive. It was close this episode.
Oh, you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right, and Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just checking out our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun things on there, like shitposting, memes, as well as notifications on whenever we go live, as well as new projects that we are doing constantly. For example, I run a Vampire the Dark Ages campaign over on my channel, The Cat's Meow Show, with Thomas as one of our lovely stars. We run that on Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. AEST, so that was Australian Standard Time. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Point is, you can find us there an absurd hour for the Americans, but a reasonable hour for the Australians. Hopefully everyone else. If you can, join us. We always appreciate the love of people joining. And stay tuned, for I will be announcing a new series on my channel very soon with some familiar faces, as well as some new faces. On that, I have been Mark, playing Sir Florence of Idmiston, the designated traitor to tonight's event. And yeah, that's me.
We've got a couple designated traitors this session, I feel.
That's true.
Hi everybody. I'm not gonna wait for you, Bob. I'm sorry. I'm Liam. I play Virgil. I played Sir Virgil. Oh my god, I fucked it up again. I played Sir Virgil of Durnford, the briefly acting Marshal of Salisbury. I'm sure Virgil won't hold a grudge about that at all. I'm having a wonderful time with this game. I'm very excited that we're back at it for our 101th episode and our first of the year 2025. That's really cool. I also have a thing to plug. I've got a podcast with a couple of our, communal friends called On With The Motley. We've got a new episode coming out in the next couple of weeks. It got delayed because I got really bad sick and we had the holidays and all that. But it's on the ancient Mariner's Rhyme, which is a super cool poem and a bunch of musical adaptations of that over the years. It's a great episode, super fun. Check it out when it's out. The next episode of this will probably be out before that is, though.
Sounds good. All right, I'm Bob. I run the channel. I want to actually shout out my YouTube because there is more content going up there that's not related to actual plays than prior, so it seems like a good time. Also, wanted to announce that going forward, assuming this worked, I have to verify that everything worked well, but it's my intention to dual stream, dual broadcast, so I probably shouldn't say that on stream. I don't know if they care. Yes, I'm going to be, you'll be finding, what that means for you is that if you prefer YouTube, and as a result, you have to wait weeks on end until I get things right and organized and all of that, you'll no longer have to do that. You'll be able to see it the same day. Looks like slightly behind. We'll figure out if that's something I can change or not. But you'll be able to see it the same day as it's live on Twitch. On top of that, there's a video series I'm currently releasing around Pendragon and other relatable games or games that relate to it. So if you're interested in knowing more about Pendragon in general, check that out. finally, I just wanted to shout out the Swithin series. Loving this book series, almost through the first book, super digging it, and it goes through all the old Arthuriana romances, but gives you a nice, easy, modern approach to understanding the detail, and obviously takes liberties anywhere where he's not directly breaching things that occurred. So he's not allowed to change names or give people roles that completely counteract the other ones. That's his own rules. I'm liking the series quite a bit. We will be back tomorrow with Anarchy in Londinium. We'll be back Tuesday with Summerland Enchantment, and then finally we'll be doing right after Summerland Enchantment, we'll be doing another mini series in Summerland with the Black Dog and Aronwe. So
The Black Dog.
yeah.
Black Dog.
And and Friday, finally, Nanteleod's Legacy. If you're here on Friday and you saw me duck out halfway through, that was a medical emergency in our house. So that's the weirdly, oddly canceled halfway through episode during a break. So thank you all, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye. Lily.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.